I think they're finally used to it in our place.
Wolverine cosplay. I'm Batman.
Thank you very much. You scared the crap out of me.
Okay, so we must be in the nerdy part of town because there's another comic shop right here, Pulp's Comics. But you can use this to find the next location. This street right here is from an episode, The Hunters. And this is where Horton is following Tessa because he thinks she might be an immortal. And he checks that cut on her hand. I believe it happens right in front of this building right here. I'm pretty sure you can see this one right here in the background. But yeah, it's basically right down this street. And I believe it's from this direction. Anyway, one more location. Okay, so I think we actually came by this building yesterday with, or 2 days ago with Adrian. I think he had us walk right through that alley over here because I recognize these sculptures coming out of the side over here. I didn't think this was a location at the time because I couldn't check my map, but Adrian did mention it, and I looked at my map today and confirmed it. This is used in Forgive Us Our Trespasses and Avenging Angel. It's an exterior section of the building, which we're not going to be able to get to because it's under construction, just like everything else around here. But if you go through the gate right here...
Yeah, you can see the arches over there.
Yep, you can see the arches
yeah, they walk
right here, where Sean Burns talks with Stephen Keen about not pursuing Duncan and just leaving it alone. And I believe these same arches were used for the Avenging Angel episode as the exterior of the church where Duncan first finds him after he's been stabbed. So,
because the outside of the church where they use the interior looks like not even a church.
We went there earlier in this
Yes.
trip. So yeah, they used multiple locations to create that.
Oh, sorry.
But look at the front of this thing. I don't think we saw the front of it yesterday, or the day before rather. But this is a pretty incredible building. And it's also right next to Darius's church. Pretty amazing location. It actually looks like we might be able to go in. The gate's open. People are coming and going out of there. We might actually be able to make it in there. So,
Private event.
let's go take a peek. Oh, it says private event. Okay, well, we'll see what we can see here in a minute. Okay, so I think this is actually the chapel that they used too when Stephen King kidnaps Amanda, because this looks pretty familiar. Look at that. We didn't even have to pay to get in here. This was a walk-in. Again, we've got those old school chairs, just like in Darius's church. That seems to be a thing around here. But these look pretty familiar too, so I think there's a chance that some of this was used for the interior in Avenging Angel as well. Look at these paintings. Holy cow. And the stained glass windows. Sunshine taking pictures, so those will be available at the end of the episode. This video. All the banging in the background is
Wasn't
because
this the location for the Mines of Moria where
well,
the pillars?
yeah, this kind of looks like that. Yes. Wow, there's some amazing stuff to look at in here. I'm glad we decided to go in. Wow. Just gonna take a little stroll here all around. This is a huge church. There's even another area over here. Again, another building that's under restoration. More. Wow, this place is incredible. In the main area. Look at this. Goes on and on. I find it interesting that churches here seem to be open pretty much all the time. And you can just come in and pray whenever. So anyway, location. I'm pretty sure Keen and Amanda come from up there. Duncan comes from these double doors right here. And walks right down this area. To approach Keen from here. And then the shot, I believe, uses that window in the back as a silhouette. Might be one of the other stained glass windows, but I think it's this one. Pretty cool location. So we're still at the church, and Shan Shan had the idea to light a candle for somebody. This looks a lot like what Connor McLeod did for Heather in the original Highlander film. Today we are lighting a candle for my best friend William's mom, Janet, who just recently got diagnosed with cancer and is having surgery in about a week. So we would like to pray that she gets better. Kind of hard to be solemn around here with all the people talking and the construction in the background, but we'll do the best we can. Janet, just know that we're praying for you today, and we hope you make it through this and get well soon. Okay, so we're back at Darius's church, which is a great, great location. I love this location. We were here with Adrian a couple days ago. I'm just using this as a reference point for right now. There's Notre Dame right there. So if you come over here, around this corner, there's another location. It's just not as iconic, which is probably why we didn't discuss it yesterday. Here's the church that we just went to, where Stephen Keen and Sean Burns were hanging out. So it's like all this stuff is like right next to each other. And right here on this corner is the opening scene of Mortal Sins, where that guy gets chased into the church by Daimler's thugs. And they run right down this street. Right here is the section where he's trying to like throw stuff into the street and make them trip and fall and stuff. All that happens right here. And then he runs along, let's see if I can get into the street here for a better look. He runs along this street right here and around this building around the corner, and then runs into the church, which ironically is right where Darius's church is, but that's not the church for Mortal Sins. We're going to try and visit that later today if we can get there. Anyway, that's one more location. We got these boats all over the place going along this river, and this is actually the river that Duncan's barge is tethered at, just a little bit further down. But yeah, this is just like the one that he jumped onto when he first meets Tessa.
That one was a little bit bigger than the one that
in the flashback.
Oh, and there is the boat.
Why am I blanking on that episode?
I don't know, but there's the boat.
There's the boat from Indiana Jones. Got a little bit of everything there.
See, I think hers was more that size, but like open all the way.
Why am I blanking on that episode? It's making me mad. Evil. Something evil. It was the very first episode they filmed in Paris in season 1. For evil's sake. There we go.
There we go.
Anyway, moving on. Okay, so we got a little treat here. I could not find this location in my research, but this is the bridge from The Vampire. In the flashback, after Nicholas Ward kills one of the business partners, he runs down this street right here with McLeod and a couple of other guys chasing him. You can see these lampposts very prevalently in that scene, even though the rest of it is like blacked out and fogged out and everything, so you can't see anything in the background. But these are on there, and he hops up on the ledge right here, gets shot, and falls into the water. I was really hoping we could find some more locations for the vampire, and none of them were on the website that I've been using for these references, so they didn't have locations for anything. As a reference, we've got that statue right there.
Somebody's doing a cover of Hurt.
And that building in the background is pretty distinct.
You
So
hear
maybe that will help.
The music?
Yes, I'm
it's
busy.
Hurt. I know, but I'm just saying, the music's Hurt. She's covering Hurt.
And then this is actually the river that Duncan's barge is placed at, way further down there past Notre Dame. So if you just keep following that river and come this way, you're going to find this big fancy bridge that you really can't miss. And it's the only bridge I've seen that has these lampposts, which is why I know we're in the right place. So yeah, Nicholas Ward gets shot right there where Shan Shan's standing. And then he goes over the edge into the water. Nice, good location. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure about this location, but I'm fairly sure. So we're right outside the Mason Rapen here. And that's the bridge where Nicholas Ward got shot. So it makes sense.
We think.
It would make sense that there's another location right nearby, since they tended to do that sort of thing. But I am pretty sure in this alleyway right here, there was another flashback from the vampire.
Oh wow, look at the ceiling on this.
Where McLeod confronts Nicholas Ward after he discovers that he's doing all the murders.
Look at the ceiling real quick before we go through here.
Uh-huh.
You see the words and stuff? That's pretty cool.
But right down here, I'm pretty sure, is where Nicholas Ward and McLeod had their fight. It's a nice, plain looking... Oh, look at this! We must be in the right location. How could we not be? So anyway, farther down here... Yeah, this alleyway is kind of scummy now, but it was very plain looking in the shot. And McLeod and Nicholas have their sword fight, I believe, in this open area that's coming up. I know there was a gate in the background of that shot. You've got all the lamps right there in the alleyway too. Again, this is all just guesswork on my part. But it was a very plain looking alley. And we got this. So this might be it, it might not be it. I'm thinking it's probably it, but can't prove anything. It's been changed quite a bit. You can tell by the wall right here that updates have been made. Oh, anyway, but the plain looking walls here and the lamps here and the narrowness of the alley make it look pretty familiar. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Just thought I'd share that just in case. So we were just walking down the street right around the corner from the alleyway we were just in, and we found Rebecca's chandelier here. It's one piece of crystal for every student that she had.
It's at the Rapen store.
Oh, this is the Mason Rapen?
Yes.
Okay. They got some other fancy stuff in here too.
Wow, that little piece is really neat.
Anyway, not Highlander related, so moving on.
Kind of.
So we're still walking along the river here, or whatever you want to call this body of water, and we found Duncan's barge. But somebody's turned it into like a stretched limo version of Duncan's barge. It's now like twice as long as it was before. But the front of it still looks the same. The back of it still looks the same. You even got the little area right here where Duncan and Fitz had tea in the Hunters episode, along with several others.
Yeah, it just looks like they put a centerpiece in it to extend it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny.
Limo barge.
Yeah, the limo barge.
It even looks like it's pieced together.
Yeah, it does. I asked Duncan the other day if he knew whatever happened to that barge, and he did not. So maybe this is it. Anyway, just something I thought I'd share. Okay, so we're at this place right here. And this place called Barnes is right across the street. Maybe that'll help some people. Anyway, we're going to see if we can get into this building, which is yet again under construction. But this is the building they used in the flashback of Duende, where Duncan has his fight with Consone and then makes Teresa renounce him. Should be right in this courtyard, but not so sure we're going to be able to get in, so we'll see what we can come up with. But anyway, this is the spot. Okay, so this is the front gate right here, and you can actually see the fountain right there. I'm guessing right around the corner is where they had their duel. And I think this is also the spot where Duncan is walking with Teresa and Teresa's mom when he's escorting them home after the dance. This looks like that's the location as well. But sadly, we're not allowed to be let inside, so this is as good as it's going to get.
School. And only people going to the school, the academy.
So I was kind of hoping that this was the cafe used in For Evil's Sake and For Tomorrow We Die, but it ain't. But while we're here, we've got this spectacular church over here. This feels a lot like it should have been used in a Highlander episode. But I couldn't find anything on it. But it sure looks pretty. Let's see if I can find a good sign. It's not a very good sign. Keep going around the other side here. And once again, the building's under construction. Surprise, surprise. Ah, there we go. You want to check this place out? There you are. Look at that. So, if this was used in an episode, let me know in the comments. The name of the episode and where it was used. We're just trying to poke our heads into the church real quick. And if this wasn't used in a Highlander episode, it's a crime. This doesn't look familiar to me, though. The outside looked familiar, but this does not. I'm so disappointed that the camera is not going to be able to capture just how magnificent these buildings are that we've gone to on this trip. But I guess that's the difference between being there and watching it on YouTube. it back. Okay, moving on. Well, this one's a little disappointing. We got this real pretty building in the background, but because things are once again under construction, we can't see it. So you've got the Eiffel Tower for a landmark right there, and you got this big fancy building over here for the other landmark. I'm not sure what that one's called, but we've been seeing it on postcards and magnets and stuff like that all over the place, so I'm assuming it's something pretty important. And right here is our Highlander location. This was the establishing shot for Unholy Alliance Part 2, where Duncan is trying to track down Xavier. And I believe he goes into this embassy with the ring that had the emblem on it that he picked up from the guy who was dying. And that ring matched a wine bottle, if I remember correctly. And he goes into that embassy to find out where Xavier might be hiding. But this is basically the establishing shot for that right here, with this really pretty gate. Unfortunately, not much to look at today. Maybe I can get a better shot of it over here. Wow, they're doing a lot of work on this place. Oh, well, I guess you can kind of see it from here. But that's as good as it's going to get. On to the next one. Okay, so we're at this big fancy bridge here. And the Eiffel Tower is right there for reference. This is the closest bridge to the Eiffel Tower, except for that one over there.
And the Russian church is over there.
But this one is white, so this one's pretty easy to spot.
Russian church is right over there.
Oh, yeah. That big fancy Russian church that we're not allowed to go into is right there.
Completely blocked off because people were trying to vandalize it.
Yeah, pretty messed up. So anyway, this is the scene from Methuselah's Gift, where that watcher guy that's trying to get all the crystals for himself is spying on Amanda, and his boss comes and reprimands him for it because he's supposed to be off the case. So according to my research and the map, that's supposed to be happening in this direction because the location is right here over the water. So I'm guessing he's looking at Amanda right down here on this dock.
I think I found out why they sell padlocks, honey. People write their names on them and they lock them onto this bridge.
These boats are all over the place along the waterfront, and just about all of them are fancy restaurants. You can see people dining on that one down there. So that seems to be like a pretty popular thing in this town. I mean, the boats are just all over the place. And again, over here, they got some huge ones over here on the left side. And they're all dining locations.
Look at
and all those out there.
Look at the bunch of some of them down there.
Mm-hmm. So people don't cut them off. We're not doing that. Sorry.
They're like love padlocks.
So anyway, that's the bridge from that scene.
Yeah, document this. Look at this.
Yeah.
They're like love padlocks. I kept finding padlocks for sale everywhere, and now I know why. Because people write their names on them.
People stick them on the bridge, and then
stick them on the bridge. It's like a.
It's almost like tattooing the bridge, or graffiti, or something like that. But yeah, this definitely seems to be a popular thing because they are all over this bridge.
Yeah, all over the railings, down it, and everything.
And there are people right by the bridge selling these.
Oh wow, look at this. This is a fancy one that they had custom. Wow.
Paris is weird. Anyway, moving on to the next location.
Bye.